Deep in the heart of a forgotten jungle, hidden among the moss-covered ruins of a long-lost civilization, there lay buried the remnants of a people and their secrets. Among the crumbling structures and overgrown pathways, something peculiar remained untouched, perfectly preserved as if placed there just yesterday. It was a cube, roughly hewn but intricately carved, seemingly crafted from a crystal of an unknown origin. Its facets shimmered faintly, holding an energy that seemed alien to the modern explorers who stumbled upon it. They brushed off the dirt, revealing markings they couldn't decipher, each line and curve whispering of a time long past. With careful hands they pried loose one of the cube's corners, expecting perhaps a hollow space, only to find another smooth, unblemished surface. Intrigued, they continued, uncovering facet after facet until they had removed the cube's outer shell, revealing a glowing inner sanctum. The air grew charged with energy, and the explorers, captivated, reached out to touch it. In that instant, the relic thrummed to life, bathing the cavern in an ethereal glow. Their hearts pounded, not from fear, but from the sheer wonder of the moment. They had unearthed not just an artifact, but a window into the very essence of time. It pulsed warmly, beckoning them closer. One of the explorers, driven by an insatiable curiosity, stepped forward and gently pressed his palm against its surface. Time seemed to hold its breath. Then the most astonishing thing happened. The cavern around them began to shift, the very fabric of reality warping and folding in on itself. The explorers found themselves falling through a vortex of swirling colors and sensations, each facet of the crystal cube representing a different moment in time. They tumbled through these moments not as observers but as participants. They felt the sting of past mistakes, the elation of long-forgotten triumphs, and the warmth of lives fully lived. Each facet presented a choice, and with each choice came a cascade of new experiences. They saw versions of themselves making different decisions, taking different paths through life. And with every variation the future diverged, branching out into an infinite array of possibilities. But this wasn't just a passive experience. The explorers were active participants, their choices influencing not only their own timeline, but the ones they touched. They healed rifts between lovers, mended broken families, and guided lost souls back to the light. They experienced firsthand the ripple effect of their actions, witnessing how even the smallest change could alter the course of a life. Yet as they journeyed deeper into the heart of the crystal, they began to sense a darkness lurking at its core. The further they went, the more the artifact's power waned. The crystal, once vibrant and pulsating, grew dim, its facets blurring and fading. They realized with the start that they were approaching the end, not just of their journey through time, but potentially of all time itself. For they had uncovered not just a relic of the past, but a force that threatened to consume and reshape the very essence of existence. As the explorers stood at the precipice of eternity, they faced a choice of their own. Would they use the artifact's remaining power to fix the mistakes of the past, even if it meant risking the unraveling of reality? Would they attempt to rewrite history itself, hoping to create a better future? Or would they choose to bury the cube to let it rest, and with it the secrets of the universe? The decision weighed heavily on them, for they knew that whatever they chose, there would be consequences. The past, present, and future were all intricately woven together, and altering one thread could have repercussions that echoed through all of time. The fate of the world, it seemed, rested in their hands. As the final moments ticked away, they pondered their choices, knowing that in a matter of moments, the crystal would fade, leaving them with the echoes of infinite possibilities and the burden of shaping the reality that remained. The expedition had been fruitless for weeks. Archaeologist Dr. Zara Celine cursed under her breath as she brushed dirt off yet another fragment of pottery. It was beautiful, sure, but that was hardly what they were looking for in this dig. Suddenly, a voice cut through the air. "Dr. Selina, you need to see this." Her assistant, Miguel, stood in the opening of a newly uncovered chamber, his face pale with awe. The sight before Zara was one of unimaginable wonder, an untouched trove of relics from a long-lost civilization. But there was something else there too, something strange and otherworldly. Half buried in the rubble, it was shaped like a teardrop, larger at the top and sharply narrowing to a point at the bottom. It was carved from a crystal of some kind, a material so alien it didn't even occur naturally on Earth. This was no ordinary find, it was an artifact from beyond the stars. As Zara reached out to touch it, A jolt shot through her arm, and the artifact pulsed with a faint inner light. When she pulled away, it dimmed. She tried again. Touch, pulse. Pull away, dim. It reacts to human contact, she whispered, more to herself than to Miguel. But he was already scribbling notes in his field journal. And it seems to respond to touch by emitting this light. Whatever this is, it definitely wasn't meant to be found. Back at the research facility, the artifact was the center of a great mystery. Day and night, scientists ran tests, attempting to unlock its secrets. But Zara couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. She missed something about it. Something crucial. Then one evening, as she sat staring at the unlit crystal, it hit her. It didn't just react to touch, it reacted to her specifically. Zara had always felt a deep connection to the ancient civilization whose ruins they were excavating. Their culture, their language, their very essence seemed to resonate with something deep within her soul. And now this artifact, a piece of their advanced technology, responded to her touch as if drawn to her like a moth to a flame. The dust swirled around Dr. Evelyn Wright's ankles as she carefully brushed it away from a strange crystal carving deep within the ruins of a long-lost civilization. The artifact was unlike anything she had ever seen before. Smooth, featureless, and impossibly clear, it seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy that sent shivers down her spine. It almost felt alive. Evelyn carefully examined the carving, trying to make sense of its strange geometry. The lines and curves seemed to shift and change as she looked at them, as if the very structure of the artifact was in constant flux. She reached out to touch it, and in that instant the world around her exploded into a blinding white light. When Evelyn's vision returned, she realized with a jolt that the world around her had changed. The ancient ruins were gone, replaced by a bustling modern city. Cars zoomed past, their horns blaring, and towering skyscrapers scraped the sky. But something was off. The buildings seemed subtly different, the streets oddly familiar yet strangely new, and a nagging sense of wrongness permeated everything. Then Evelyn saw the news reports on a nearby billboard. Headlines blared about a mysterious crystal artifact discovered in an Amazonian dig, an artifact that had the world's governments scrambling and the public terrified. And then Evelyn saw herself on the screen, her face pale and drawn, clutching the very crystal that now pulsed warmly in her hand. In that moment, Evelyn understood. This artifact didn't just tell the story of time, it altered it. The world around her was a glimpse into an alternate timeline, one where the discovery of the crystal had played out differently. But how? With a start, Evelyn realized that the carving wasn't just reacting to her touch, it was responding to her thoughts. As she had held it, images of the modern world had flooded her mind. And the artifact had somehow translated those thoughts into reality. But why and how? As Evelyn delved deeper into the mystery of the artifact, she uncovered fragments of its true nature. It was a key, she realized, a key to the very structure of time and space. In the hands of someone with pure intentions, it could be used to right wrongs and heal the sick. But in the hands of someone with darker designs, it could rewrite history itself. And as Evelyn struggled to understand the full scope of the artifact's power, she knew she had to make a choice. Use the artifact to fix the mistakes of the past, risk unraveling the very fabric of reality, or bury it forever, allowing the timeline to heal itself. But as she pondered her choice, eerie echoes of alternate timelines began to bleed into the present, shadows of what could have been if the artifact had been used differently. She saw the city crumble into chaos as the discovery of the crystal caused global panic. She saw war break out as nations fought for control of the artifact's power. And she saw a dystopian future where the artifact had been used to amplify the darkest desires of humanity.